Hey Bears fans, something big is moving quietly behind the walls at Hollis Hall. And it isn't a gadget play or a cute formation. It's the kind of conversation that changes how opponents script third and long against us for the rest of the year. I'm not throwing around the word transformational lightly. I'm talking about a move that would force offensive coordinators to slide protection on every obvious passing down. That would change our defense's body language. And that would finally unlock the ceiling we keep teasing every Sunday. You can feel it, right? The timing, the urgency, the window. This isn't about panic. It's about opportunity. Here's the straight talk. I love what our front has in flashes. I love how Montez Sweat can dictate edges when he gets a clean jump. And I like the growth from the interior when we compress the pocket rather than just dent it. But that's second wave the closer. The finisher who turns pressures into drive-ending sacks hasn't lived in our building consistently. We win the rep and sometimes still lose the down because the quarterback escapes a beat late. That's the difference between competed and close, between field goals and punts. And if you've watched every snap like I have, you know the defense is one piece away from playing with a swagger that bleeds into the offense. Now, every smart franchise looks at the calendar, the cap, and the locker room pulse at the same time. This roster has leaders. The offense has a young core that benefits from short fields and momentum swings. Our defensive structure wants to rush 4, keep 7 in coverage, and dare you to hold the ball a tick too long. When we do that with a true closer opposite Sweat, our coverage reads cleaner, our linebackers trigger faster, and our corners take more calculated risks. That philosophy doesn't require a scheme rewrite. It requires a hammer. I'm not talking about a developmental flyer. I'm not talking about a rotational veteran you hope can flash for 15 snaps. I'm talking about a headline player with a first step that resets launch points, a long arm that keeps tackles from getting inside his frame, and a motor that runs hot in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about someone who has lived in the top tier of pass rush productivity for years, who wins with plan, counters, and stubborn persistence. And yes, I'm talking about a name that makes you stop scrolling when it pops on your phone. Before I say it, let's be adults about the cost. Premium edge talent is never cheap at the deadline. Picks matter. Cap space matters. Culture matters. But there's a right way to structure this, so the move helps you today without handcuffing you tomorrow. The blueprint is simple. You buy certainty at a premium position during a competitive window, and you spread the money like a grown-up front office option bonuses. Rolling guarantees, escalators tied to sacks and snaps. It's not magic. It's alignment between a player who wants to hunt and a franchise ready to let him. Let's talk football fit. Montez Sweat thrives when offenses can't slide everything to him. Our stunts look nastier when there's a second alpha who can crash the B-gap and still bend back to the quarterback. Our interior, when it collapses rather than penetrates, creates those little pockets of panic where great closers cash checks. Add a finisher, and suddenly 3rd and 7 feels like 3rd and 12. Suddenly the call sheet for the opponent shrinks to quick game and screens. And we can sit on those. That's how complimentary football actually looks when it's not just a press conference phrase. Timing matters too. The middle third of the season separates teams that have a path from teams that have a plan. A move like this tells every player in that locker room the message we've been waiting to hear. We're not renting competitiveness. We're buying results. And for a defense that's already playing faster on early downs, adding a closer is the loudest, clearest way to say the standard just moved. You can probably guess where I'm going. There's an AFC team with expectations that hasn't had the cleanest month. A front office that has taken calls on one of the most relentless edge rushers in football. And a contract picture that invites hard choices. The player is a tone setter. The resume is stacked. The tape? Violent, technical, and addictive. All right. Cards on the table. The move I want the Bears to push right now is a trade offer for Trey, Hendrickson. Say the name out loud and watch how it feels. You picture the long-arm stab turning a left tackle's chest into a trampoline. You picture that wicked inside counter when the set gets too wide. You picture hustle sacks that deflate a stadium because the quarterback thinks he's broken contain. And then Nope Hendrickson runs him down from the backside. Place opposite Montez Sweat. Those reps cascade. Slide to Trey and Montez gets the one-on-one he turns into strips. Slide to Montez and Hendrickson works through the edge like it's routine. That doesn't just add sacks. It adds intent to every snap. Let's talk cost the mature way. I'm not pounding the table for a straight first-rounder. I'm pounding the table for a conditional second that can escalate based on performance. If Hendrickson hits, say, double-digit sacks or a playoff win threshold, it bumps. That's accountable team-building pay more if the move does exactly what you wanted. Sweeten it with a 2026 mid-rounder or a player at a position where we have depth, and you're speaking the universal language of deadline deals. It's aggressive without being reckless, and it respects the fact he's entering the early 30s phase where you want production, not promises dotting out the money. You don't walk into this blind. You walk in with a 2 to 3 year extension framework ready. Emphasize guarantees in the first 2 seasons. Front load via option bonus to spread cap hits, and include sack-based escalators that reward the very thing we're acquiring him for. Use void year mechanics if you need the flexibility. Keep the year 1 hit digestible, and align the peak cap charges with the years our core is ascending. This is textbook. Commit to the player. Protect the future. Let the cap math work for you rather than against you. On the field, the deployment is day 1 simple. Keep Hendrickson at right end on early downs to punish tight ends and bully tackles in the run fit. Then heat him up on passing downs wide 9. Mug looks with our backers threatening a gaps. Simulated pressures that bring him on the loop while Montez crashes inside. Mix in Tay tackle gains to attack oversets and use his hustle to blow up screens we've been a step late on. With 2 closers, the coverage becomes a weapon, not a stress test. What about the room? This is where Hendrickson shines in ways stat sheets miss. He plays like every snap is personal. That attitude, no loafs, no excuses, raises the floor of a unit instantly. Young guys like Austin Booker benefit from watching a pro plan his rush like a chess match. Veterans respond because every practice rep gets sharper. Standards get felt, not just talked about. And yes, you still rotate to keep legs fresh, but crunch time snaps belong to finishers. Imagine Soldier Field when both edges pin their ears back with a 1-score lead. That's identity you can hear. Risks? Of course. Age curves don't lie, and violence has a cost. You mitigate with snap management, sports science, and smart usage. Draft pick value matters, and yes, somewhere out there is a prospect you'll be tempted by in April. But ask yourself, what does locker room needs right now? Proof that the front office believes the defense can swing games in November and December. You make this move, and the signal is unmistakable. Let me pull you in here. What do you think? Is a conditional second rounder with escalators the right price for a proven closer who changes our third down math on day 1? Would you tack on a 2026 sweetener? How would you structure the extension to keep the window wide without mortgaging flexibility? Drop your blueprint in the comments, because I'm going to pin the smartest cap plan and we'll revisit it live after the next game. This community knows ball, and I want the full Hollis Hall whiteboard right here under this video. Here's where I land. The Bears should press the gas and make a serious, smart, incentive-driven offer for Trey Hendrickson. The fit is clean, the need is obvious, and the message is powerful. Add a closer opposite Montez Sweat, and we're not hoping to finish. We're built to finish. That's the difference between flirting with momentum and owning it. If you're with me, hit subscribe for more fast updates and deep dive breakdowns. Smash the like so this gets in front of Bears fans who want real talk. And keep your notifications on. I'll be here the minute anything breaks. This is Bears News Fan Report, and I'll see you in the comments to build the deal together.